when I was in that gym, as I talked about a lot, like I visualized hitting game winners. I visualized jumping on the scores table. All these things that y'all watched me do later, I had already did that in Milwaukee in the small gym. Sometimes the motivation has to be there from the beginning to the end, and sometimes it's hard. This team has had expectations,
right?
And sometimes those expectations, a lot start going on up here. When you have expectations, you're not reaching them the way that you want to when you want to. Instead of just focusing on getting back to the basics and little things, and that's winning every possession. Going back, okay, since it's my show, I actually am glad I brought that up. I feel like I should have won. This will be our last check-in before the holidays, man.
Yep.
Checking in with you first, bro. You got more exciting stuff to talk about than me.
We finally figured it out. We were trying to figure out this whole birthday situation, and we did it. We landed that plane. The plane
you
was
landed the plane,
and we did the trip. We ended up going to Japan for my wife's birthday, and it was a very much needed, very much enjoyable trip. We went for 7 days. We flew into Tokyo. And from Tokyo, we went to Kyoto, stayed a couple of days there, took a day trip to Osaka, and from Osaka, went to Tokyo back, because that's where we were flying out of. And man, it was one of those trips, man. I've been all over the world, honestly, which is a blessing in itself. And this was one of those trips that made me just feel like happy again to travel.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on the especially when you think of the Far East. I've been to the Far East, and mind you, I love going to China when we go, and that's always been a blessing, and that's always been beautiful. But Japan, for whatever reason, we just never went there. And for us to go there, my wife wanted to go. We were kind of like debating, and it's funny because it was a moment where she was trying to just like, we wanted to go, and then she kind of like was pulling back on the brakes a little bit, like.
Well, it was a tsunami.
Well, tsunami warrant. See, here's the thing.
Watch.
A mega quake.
It was a mega quake.
So which is.
And a tsunami watch going on.
So they need to figure out a way to change these words. Because you hear mega quake.
Bro, your wife don't even want to drive on the expressway for too long. So you know.
So I was like, oh my God. I knew it was going to be, I knew she needed it. And it was one of those things where I said, man, listen, this is a trip that's been blessed to you, for us to go. These are just distractions. A mega quake is a big distraction. A tsunami is a big distraction. But I was like, you gotta have faith, right? And she knows I'm one of those guys. Like I have faith over anything first. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, let's just go. I said, because in my mind, I'm like, this is a trip meant for you. I don't care these little mini distractions that are coming up. And I remember the next day she was like, F it, we got to take us, let's just go. So we ended up going. The trip was amazing, man. I know you're going too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
A lot of people are going, actually.
A lot of people are going to Japan. I mean, you just hear so many great things about obviously your experience, right?
Right.
And the service, the food culture,
all
the
of it's
shopping
true.
culture.
All of it's true.
Right, like all the
Yes.
things you hear about. It's like when you travel, there's certain things you look for when you travel. And so you hear about those things when it comes to Japan. So I have friends that's been going for a very long time, and then I have newer friends now that's going now, and it's just really cool. So yeah, we're gonna take our trip to Japan this year. I've always wanted to go myself. I went in 2006 during the World Games, but I was young. We didn't do nothing.
Right.
We were probably there for like a day or two, but we definitely didn't do nothing that was as memorable as it would be in my mid-40s going.
Right.
And so on my own dime and my own itinerary, I guess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
It was. I'm a photographer, and I love. I love going in a place like I'm that traveler, in which I've kind of helped. Lisa's kind of, which I appreciate with her as far as like she obliges me, because I'm that guy. Most people like to travel and like to go and say, hey, I just want to go and just relax, or I want to just go and just eat. I'm that guy. I want to do all the trips. I want to do all the tours. I want to go to all the landmarks, because I'm a history buff and I love just watching how things are happening.
I don't want to do all that.
So for me, I like to go see all of it. Like if you're saying this is the thing I need to do.
No, I don't want to do that.
Let me do that.
All of it.
Well, as much as I can.
Give me one good story.
Well, we got some stories though too from that trip because there was one night we went to this. We went to Kyoto, and it was So Kyoto's very traditional. A lot of people here in Japan, they go to Tokyo, which is everything Tokyo's about, right? As far as big city, just vibrant, just all that things. Kyoto is a bit more traditional. And that's where you see the geisha stuff and like just a lot of traditional style, like course meals and dinners. So we went to this one spot that someone suggested to us. And it was down an alley. Mind you, they might be like on a street, are like 40 restaurants in one block. Like it's ridiculous. But everything is small.
Right.
So you're going to this one spot and we went in there to make you take your shoes off and they might be able to, this restaurant could probably hold 8 people. Right? And I'm like, that's how it is in most places. So you got 8 people. The kitchen is like right there in front of you. And it's kaiseki, if I'm not mistaken. And they cook everything in front of you. And Lisa was like, so this is it? Like the kitchen door, to get into the kitchen, looked like it wasn't a regular door. It was like a hatch. And Lisa's like, that's how they come in and out of the restaurant? And I'm like, yeah. And Lisa's like, man, so this is a traditional meal.
That's fire.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we in there, and they don't even tell you what they're gonna feed you.
Ain't no menu?
No menu. They said this is a course menu, we're gonna put stuff in front of you.
Oh, wow.
You gotta be brave.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And so, they had wild boar that night. And Lisa goes
Was it tender?
It was tender. I enjoyed it, but Lisa's like, I don't eat pork. Nigga, she just had bacon early that day. But she said, when she heard boar, my wife is very, she's like, boar. She said, what is boar? I was like, and I'm like, yo, listen, you can't be like, looking at these people, like, everything they gave her, she was like, And I'm like,
you're like, I only eat pork that I grew up eating.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what she really meant.
Yes, man. But it was, again, the experience was great.
That's amazing, bro.
I implore everyone
I love that for you guys.
to jump out and do just live out on the wild side.
I love that you lend the plane.
Thank goodness.
I know it's a lot of people involved in helping that plane land.
I feel like we've been talking about it for 3 shows.
Yeah. But you had to be, you had to be the captain of,
right.
Of this plane. And so it's good. It's good to be on this side of now the show to be able to say,
this is what we did.
My guy didn't get put out. He didn't get put out. He did his thing. All right. Brought in 50 good.
Brought in 50
and,
great.
you represent it, and it makes all of us look better. So, good shit, bro.
Cheers. But so how was you? Let me check in with you. How you doing?
Check in. Since the last time we did the show, I just been working, bro. I went up to Vegas.
Yeah.
I think I was leaving to go to Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went up to Vegas, man. I haven't spent 5 days in Vegas since 2008.
We
were there for the Olympics. I was in Vegas for 5 days. Just the way that it was, we did the semifinals on a Saturday.
Okay.
And then we did, the finals was on a Tuesday. And so you got them 2 days in between.
Right.
And you're like, do I go home? Do I stay? Do I do this? And so we just stayed. And it was cool though. I got a chance to like really work on like a road cadence. Okay. Because, now that, this is a part of, I don't know, it's part of my now, maybe a part of my future where I'm gonna be traveling a little bit more. I brought like my body guy out there, did some training while I was out there. So I just, I incorporated like I was going on the road for games. Right. And that's, I had game day workouts and like,
oh wow.
I treated it like a game schedule. Like what would I do if I was playing? I'm getting ready for a game.
Right.
And that's how serious you want to take the job. And that's how serious I took the job. So, man, it was cool. I didn't know what I was like getting into though. Like once again, this is all new. And so, and I get there on Friday, we probably had like 6 hours of media. And we had to interview each team, and you get 2 players and the coach from each team.
Okay.
And it was 4 teams at the time: OKC, Spurs, Orlando, and the Knicks. And so I know that I'm interviewing the coaches, so I'm prepared for that. I done wrote a couple questions down. As a player, I have certain ways I like to form questions. Some of them I may know the answer to, but I don't know how they think about this. But then the players, I didn't know we was interviewing the players. But that was cool because I didn't have any questions written down for the players. I am a former player, so as they sat down, I just like whatever. Any question that came to mind that you want to ask a player, you're a fan of the game too.
Of course.
And so I was able to do that, man, and that was great. But all those things are prep, right? Those questions, those opportunities to sit down with the coaches and the team, being there with the other, your other teammates, hearing what they're talking about. Like all this is prep for once you get out there with that microphone. And now you gotta throw some lobs, you gotta score, you gotta bring entertainment, you gotta bring some, obviously some knowledge of the game.
Right.
And so I took everything that I learned on those days of prep and I put it out there on the games that I did. And so I had a great time. Like sitting there next to Stan was crazy.
Which was so good to see. As a fan, like just to see, knowing your history, that was just really good to see.
Yeah.
Like was it as good as it
looked?
Did it look as good? Did it feel as good as it looked?
Well, I don't know how it felt to everyone. When we were there, it felt incredible. We had incredible coaches and captains of our show with Iron Eagle and Michael Grady, the 3 games that we did. We had 2 different play-by-play guys. But man, Stan and I was just like talking hoop. And it was cool because he coached me and he coached against me. And, we know each other from, those moments. But, obviously we've known each other for 20-some years now. But his knowledge of the game is incredible.
Facts.
He's a coach. I can throw stuff to him. He can throw stuff back to me. We play off each other well. So it was great. My first time working with those guys. So I just had fun. I hope it came across that way when you listen to the broadcast, that we all are hoop fans. Like Blake, Steve, UD, Dirk, like Taylor, like our whole team that was there, Cassidy, like everybody's hoop fans. And it comes across, man, and you can feel it and you see it. So just a really good trip, So just really working, man, getting into that cadence. It was really good for me to go up there and handle my business. Yeah.
So you got a chance, you've seen him before, but like you was all up close and personal with the alien and what was going on with the Knicks and them doing what they doing.
Yeah, that first game, bro. I mean, saying that this guy is special does nothing for. That's a weak term for.
Right.
But you would watching him, and I know that when we were out there in Vegas, everybody there knew that they were watching something special. Like, we all point to, man, if that guy stays healthy, that's the biggest thing in sports. Right. But for real, what he can accomplish, what he can do is just like you just never saw it before. You don't see this. But they have the guards. It's a guard on their team named Champini. He was down screening for Wemby, a pin down to get Wemby open to come off and catch and shoot, bro. I was like, it was a play where on the Knicks where it was Mikal Bridges and Cat Towns running the lane. Right? Brunson had it. Let's say Brunson had it. Mikal Bridges cut through the paint. Cat stopped at the 3. It's just the reverse roles that we're watching. Like, you know what I mean? Back in the day, if White Chocolate got the ball and me and Shaq on the wing, Shaq rolling down to the paint, I'm stopping out. You know what I mean? And so it's just reversed, and it's crazy to kind of see the game where the 7-footers are the ones that are playing the guard roles, in the sense of our game. And that's a lot of the European style, that's, kind of on this game as well. And so it's really cool, man, to be out there and see those guys compete.
Right.
Now, they competed out there for the cup.
I felt that.
That was great basketball, bro.
Yes.
And so when that happens, you have a great broadcast because they give you
make it easy.
Yeah, they make it easy for you. You don't have to be that good when they that good. So you just don't fuck it up. Don't get in the way.
There was a play that Wemby did. And I don't know if it was there was a play that I saw from Wemby, and I don't think it was from here. It was just something I saw on social. Where Wemby went down all the way down to the baseline of the bench and threw it across court above the rim to another player on the other side, on the other baseline, and he got a shot of 3. And I've never seen, personally, someone throw a pass over the rim like that it was all intentional. You could tell it was intentional. And it was like, he's doing stuff he's doing things that don't seem like logic. Like your brain starts thinking like, is that real? Am I watching a glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, is he just literally?
He definitely does things like that.
And you're like, did I just see that? Did I just really see something? And so there's a play that I saw, and I don't have it on me right now. That And is that something that's normal? That would you see if someone told you, I went down to the baseline, threw a pass above the rim to the other side?
I'm trying to even understand what the hell does that mean. I'm trying to visualize. He went to the baseline.
To the baseline to the sideline right by the bench on one side. The other guy's on the other bench, and he throws it across the court above the rim.
Above the rim was crazy.
To catch the ball for a catch and shoot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to see it.
Okay, I'm gonna find this play for you.
I have to see it. But
me telling you this, what are your thoughts?
I mean, call him an alien. I know we heard about him. Have you seen him? Have you seen any of them? It's that like what you see from him is that kind of like that same mystique as an alien has. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know when they're gonna pop out. You don't know what he's gonna do, man. And you can feel like the buzz in the arena is there when he's out there. Like it's just a different buzz that he has. You know when you know you're watching somebody who's a one-on-one. And so, bro, just an incredible basketball player too, man. You know he has everything. And the Spurs they're gonna be around for a while, y'all.
Yeah,
Spurs ain't going nowhere yet. They
got some dogs on.
They took a little time off, just a little time off to get that thing tight.
Because Castle,
yeah,
it's a bad boy.
Castle sophomore jump, and I was talking about it. Is you look for what they look at is the first 3 years of a lot of players to see how they can develop and grow. But you get those special players that in that you get the special ones that's ready right away. Castle was ready, won Rookie of the Year, all that. But then you get the ones that make that sophomore jump, and then this is before that window that we were looking at, and it's special to see a guy be able to make at the winning Rookie of the Year to now make another jump.
Yeah,
that he's be like most improved player at the same time. Okay, going back. Okay, since it's my show, I actually am glad I brought that up. I feel like I should have won Most Improved Player my second year in the NBA.
What? The year when Shaq came in?
Yes.
Why?
I went up 8 points a game. That's just points.
Do you know who won that year?
I think if I had to go, I'd say Bobby Simmons won. He played for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
I think I should have won Most Improved Player.
Because you went up 8 points?
How many motherfuckers going up 8 points?
I guess that's a lot. But
the way I went up 8 points, the improvement
is a great improvement, a huge improvement.
I should have won. I thought I should have. Now obviously, I think Bobby Simmons won it, and shout out to Bobby Simmons. But I remember going through that year like, why am I not getting more consideration for Most Improved Player
in the middle of the year? Wow,
that year, bro, I went from 16 points a game to 24 a night. And assists, and rebounds, and everything went up, dog. And our team record went up. We went from a 40-win team, 42 wins. I think we won 40 or 42 wins my first year, or 41 wins or whatever, to 50-something. I'm sure we won high 50s, mid 50s.
You know what? You got a case. Can you retroactively get that? Because you got some trophies in other people. You got a few trophies in other people's houses already. Still. That's not the only trophy.
Let me see my trophy.
You got another one over at...
I thought that was my trophy, though. I ain't even hold you. And so
that's the first time you brought this up to me now.
Yes. And so Castle should be up for Most Improved, right?
Okay.
The improvement from one year to the next. And it's not always got to be a guy who... And a lot of things you got to look at, like some guys are going to improve if they play 5 minutes the first year, and then they play 35 the next year. You can't give them Most Improved. Like, of course.
Right.
My improvement was, maybe my minutes went up 2 to 3.
You know what? You got
maybe.
We need to check that. We need to go find out if we can get that trophy back. I'm gonna call Bobby.
Anyway, I just went on a little rant. Real quick. But
I felt that.
I should have another something else in my trophy case.
Something else.
Or at least, more consideration for what I did. That's what I felt at the time. Even if I didn't win it, like I didn't win Defensive Player of the Year the year that I felt like I should have won Defensive Player of the Year. But ultimately, I shouldn't have probably won it. But I wanted to get the consideration that I got. That's it. I was in the top 3 votings. I was like, all right, this right here feels...
That's enough.
Disrespectful.
You know what? We're going to find out who was in the top 3 of that conversation, because if we're going to find out...
I probably got a couple votes, but I should have got way more than I got.
Well, you know what? We're gonna petition for that.
I don't know if we can petition for. I think it's over. Speaking of over, So I'm sitting here, and this has been going on for a while. You're getting a lot of these, young men now in college basketball that are going back to school, that's getting their eligibility back. And it's a lot of confusion going on around it. I know for me, I have some confusion going on around it. And a lot of people we talk to is, I think these rules are being like made up on the fly.
They are. Everything is.
And I don't know whatever the case may be. So now I just saw a young man who we know, shout out to him, he's getting an opportunity to go back to college. And then my son hit me like, we ain't go to college, right? Like, what's up? And so I just want to know the process. I just want to know, like, I know it has something to do with eligibility, and what that means and what that looks like is something that I haven't got the answer to just yet as I sit here right now. But I will get that answer because my son did not go to college, right? We went through the pandemic year when Zaire came out.
Yeah.
We had to go to Brewster for a year. It was a pandemic year. And then he entered the G League for a year. Then we went to Africa for a year. And then last year happened, and here we are, for the most part, right?
Right.
And so, as I sit here, Z, 23 years old, he's sitting there like, what's up?
I want that for him too, because especially the pandemic changed a lot of stuff.
Bro, it did, man. I feel bad for the kids that was in the pandemic year. They really got the raw end of the stick, as you would say, right? Yeah, it's really not. And my son was smack dead in the middle of that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So we're going to do a little research. We got a couple calls. I got a couple text messages already coming through.
Let's get that.
Because I just want to, more so than anything, we want to know, like, what is really going on? Because you hear something and then you see something else, you're like, well, that ain't what they said. So I got a lot of stuff going back and forth right now on my phone.
I bet your phone is
lit
lit up
that
right
my
now.
alerts are up. Yeah, man.
It's interesting because when you think about just the whole NIL, which is still process. I can't even try to even act like I understand what's going on with all the stuff with this college sports, and just how it almost feels like the Wild Wild West, because the transfer portals, the teams going like people like I got this much money to go for this team, this much money for this team, and then you hear Lane Kiffin that went to
oh yeah he left Ole Miss
and was like, yo, I got like basically I'm about to exploit this. Really, like this opportunity because
he went to LSU,
right? Because he got the money there's long.
Yeah, that's what he said. Do they got money there?
Right.
Do they got money there?
And then he's gonna make sure he's gonna start doling it out.
Well, it's what it is now. It's become that part of the business now where it's the highest bidder.
College pro sports.
Yeah, ain't no like growing up. I mean, you have some families that, my uncle or my dad used to root for Duke, or they went to Duke, or they went to North Carolina, and this. But for the most part, you got a lot of kids don't have no ties to that. Especially in our community, a lot of them ain't went nowhere.
Right.
So ain't no ties to these schools. So you like, yo, so what up? How much? It's become a business. It's like the NBA. When the guys can go off in the summer and they sign, you go to the highest bidder for yourself.
Right.
And so it's become that part of the business. And it's really, it's some cool parts about it. And then, it's a lot of stuff going on that, maybe needs some rules and some regulations around it. Because the one thing you do not want to do is put, our young men and our young women in places where they come out of this and they don't know how to handle their money. Don't know how to spend their money. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it is when they come out of college or very early. And so now they're getting money super duper early.
Super early.
And you know how it is. Most of businessmen and women probably get most of their money in about our age now. Mid-40s is when a lot of people hit.
Right.
Well, it's getting younger and younger for athletes here, in America. And so, we definitely got to do a good job and a better job of the rules and regulations that go around what they're getting.
100%.
But happy that we're having,
But the thing is,
happening.
Look at it. You got situations where you got some families and some situations where the child that's coming in now is making more money than anybody in their family now.
Big facts.
And now I am now the breadwinner of this house. By a lot. Not by a little, by a lot sometimes. And now you want to tell me I got to go to my room and go clean my, got to go make my bed? I got to go do the laundry? I got to go clean these dishes? So it does a dynamic change that's really interesting. I am I'm a traditionalist. I am an old school guy in a lot of ways. And they're like, I love purists. I love my team. I love my I have my schools that I love. But also I feel like, you got to take care of these young men and young women as well too. But it's Wild Wild West to me when I look at it from afar.
It is.
But it is where we are. This is the life that we live in right now.
So, can we talk about my T-shirt that I'm wearing?
I'm looking at it. Talk to me.
Everybody out there to see when I'm wearing, I'm kicking it back. This is, first of all, shout out to Player Society. This is an incredible collab for the young lady and the team over at Player Society. Been rocking with them for a minute, but this is a cool collab. This is the 25th anniversary of Love and Basketball, my guy. How old are we? The 25th and do you remember when Love and Basketball came out?
Yes, man.
So I just so happened to be somewhere last night and saw the director actually.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy that I actually wearing this shirt. I actually did see the director last night. But anyway, when I think of Love and Basketball, why I wore this shirt and I wanted to talk about it, because when I think about Love and Basketball, like, I remember basketball movies before Love and Basketball, and it was just really focused on hoop for the most part, right? Yeah. Or it was focused on the trauma around the culture of it. You know, like you got the hood, the hood.
Yeah.
This was the first one that really connected, like, the emotion of love. Right? It obviously is in the title, Love and Basketball, but it was the first, like, to me, movie in our time that connected, like, love and basketball,
and
literally.
Basketball, right?
And really showed that when it came to, like, overcoming, like the injuries that was overcome. It showed a lot of different, like, pillars inside of it. But it was one of the first basketball movies to show that a woman can be at that level. Right? It was like she was fly, he was fly. She was on her. She was on the same. She wasn't just a girlfriend. She was.
She's a hooper too.
Yeah, Monica was there too. She was D1 too. And so it was before the WNBA surgeons and all that kind of stuff, where this movie, kind of, hit the market, hit the scene. And so it's really, really cool to sit here like 25 years later, man, and be like, damn, I remember being young and watching this movie and, like, just watching two people that was, like, ambitious, but, like, they were flawed, but it had all the characteristics that you needed. It just never was used in basketball. Mm-hmm. You know, in a sense. And so, yeah, man, 25 years, dog. And so, shout out to I think her name is Gina Prince Battlewood.
Yeah,
is her name. Shout out to Gina for just creating something that's made big impact. We talk about impact a lot on the show. It makes a lot of impact
for generations.
For generations. You know
what I'm saying? But that's I go back to now. You're taking me back traditional again. They don't make movies like they used to anymore.
Mm-mm.
Think about the fact that you got another movie with Love that it's one of your favorite movies, which is one that's funny because when I think about it, I always think about you now because it's Love Jones.
Oh, Love Jones, yes.
And it was just great storytelling. That's the reason why we love and basketball. It's a great story.
Yeah, it was a great story. It was a great story around something that we love,
right?
Around the game of basketball.
And so it didn't feel unauthentic, which is so dope. So yeah,
it was some classic lines. It's all is fair in love and basketball. Right? Like the one-on-one in the driveway. You know how many people have tried to recreate that love moment, that love scene? Like, you got to play me for my heart.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know how many people that went off in their life and been like, this is it? This is how you going to win my heart? You got to play me for it?
Are you excited about these Christmas games?
Oh, these Christmas games? Yeah, man. I think it's 5 games now on Christmas. Yeah, I think it's 5 games. And so, man, you get to watch games all day. Yes, I'm excited. And I'm not working.
Yes, but now you also got football too. Like, I still feel like football, that's so disrespectful.
We talked about that on Mello's show.
The disrespect, dog.
The disrespect is... You know what? It ain't the disrespect. It's on us. That's our fault. We gave them hope and let them in. That's because our ratings ain't what they should have been. We need to do more on Christmas. But yeah, it's some bullshit.
Bro, everyone knows Thanksgiving is y'all's, Christmas is...
Yeah, we went through this already. They said they don't care what we're talking about. So you know what? I'm watching basketball. Who playing on the NFL though?
I'm going to tell you right now who's playing.
But who playing though?
You have, for football, you have Dallas and the Commanders.
No, I'm cool.
Lions and Vikings.
Okay, I'll take the box scores.
And now this game has lost a lot of juices. Broncos and Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool anyway. Yeah. So let's talk about the hoop games. What hoop games?
So we got, now mind you, we got Cleveland and the Knicks first game.
Okay.
Cleveland ain't doing that strong right now though. Cleveland is like, any thoughts on why Cleveland? Why do you think Cleveland what's going on with Cleveland is happening with Cleveland right now?
I don't know. I haven't paid a lot of attention to Cleveland right now. They haven't been in my path to like the games that I've been covering and focusing on. Obviously, I'm always looking at my little brother Donovan when I can. But I don't know. They have a very good team. I think this is one of those teams that you can see at some point in the season, then won 14 out of 15. You watch them put it together. Sometimes the motivation has to be there from the beginning to the end. And sometimes it's hard. This team has had expectations.
Right.
And, sometimes those expectations, a lot start going on up here. When you have expectations, you're not reaching them the way that you want to when you want to. Instead of just focusing on, the basics, the little things, getting back to the basics and the little things. And that's, winning every possession. It has to be, minute by minute, possession by possession, when you feel you have a team that can compete for an Eastern Conference championship. You got to take it back to that. And so I don't know where they at, and but hopefully at some point they find themselves in the midst of this and realize that they have a special opportunity. But it looks like, the Knicks there's certain teams that are making their moves and they look like they're starving, they're hungry to strike. If they can or not. OKC obviously have the dominance that everybody's talking about, but you got teams around the league like, yeah, they're really, really good, but they can be beaten, right? Teams, players, people on the outside are like, hey, go a run for them. Nobody can touch them. You got players like, no, we got something. You feel that, when you sit in there and you're talking to the players from San Antonio, you're talking to the players from the Knicks, you're talking to these guys, they're like, no, we feel like our game is just as good. You know what I mean? And in a different way. Right. But they feel confident in their games.
They do.
And I'm sure Houston feels that way, and I'm sure there's other teams I'm sure the Denver feels that way. But when you talk about for the next whatever years, they will. They will be there.
See, now, so what do you think about the Knicks now that they won? Because mind you, they're the winners of the Cup. They won the NBA Cup.
Yeah, it was great. I like this Knicks team. I really like this Knicks team, bro.
Did you hear what they did as far as what they said about the banner?
Yeah, I heard.
They're not raising the banner no more?
Yeah, allegedly. I heard they wasn't.
So
I actually was shocked in the building. Mike Brown said it. He said about the banner going up. I actually was shocked when I heard that.
Why?
In Madison Square Garden, they just don't do just what you expect them to do. They just never have. Why now? Why would they do it? Why would they do what everybody else do? They don't do that.
True.
And so when I heard it, I was like, wow, that's interesting. Okay, that they're going to put it up. Cool. But I think the thing is it's so early in the Cup, right, that a lot of people still don't understand. Like, I love the Cup. I think it's one of the best additions to the NBA that the NBA has brought in a very long time. Because and also too, I got a chance to actually see what I thought I liked. Right. I saw it in person.
Right.
Getting people to play for something. You know how it is, bro. If we plan for something, it's going to be very competitive.
Yep.
And just playing games to hopefully get to the playoffs in this season or hopefully get to the final. Like, every team is not going to get there.
True.
And you lose guys and you lose teams very early with that, just having a full season, 82 games to get to the playoffs finally. Well, you find these little cups, these little moments that keep people competitive and give them plan for something, man. That's when you get good basketball. And so what we got at game 25 is great competitive basketball, but also too something that these teams and these players can build off of, man. Like, the Knicks have not felt winning at that level. Like, Spike Lee was so happy. And I understand why.
Right.
We haven't had confetti fall down in forever. It's a great feeling to have confetti fall down. And so, to each his own when it comes to, do you put up the banner, don't you put up the banner? But, this team, as they're trying to get to the Eastern Conference Finals again, trying to get to the finals, like, you don't know how to win until you learn how to win together. And you have to be put in situations to know how to execute in those moments, offensively and defensively, how to be able to communicate in those moments. Can I be like, hey, Bob, stop that bullshit? Can I talk to you like that? Or can I not talk to you like that? I need to know.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sorry to yell like that, but sometimes you just got to get it out. Like, but can I talk to you like that? Is this going to be a sensitive? Do we going to fight? Are we not going to speak to each other? We got to be in these moments so I know what every person is going to do when we get to those moments again. Because some games, you saw the other night in football, it looks like it's over, and then it's not. And so a lot of that is, obviously the trust that you build throughout a season. And so these moments allows for that trust factor to really go up to an extreme level. And that's what I love about the Cup, more so than, all the talking heads and what they're going to say about it, and the former players that, don't like change and don't understand it. Like, I get all that. But also, too, you gotta understand, like, what it does for people to get an opportunity to compete for something, man. We saw incredible basketball.
Yes, we did.
We saw bodies diving on floors. We saw what we've been asking for, physicality. We saw a physical basketball game, but still with the offensive power.
Yep.
At the same time, like the best of the best. And so it was incredible.
I love it. And I remember you said, it's funny because right before on our last show, you talked about from the Knicks, what you've been seeing this year is trust.
Yeah, I've been seeing trust in that team.
You've been seeing it now.
Yeah, and I understood where it came from when I sat down with Coach Mike Brown. It starts from the leader. He didn't, like, Mike Brown didn't talk about himself one time in none of the interviews. He talks about everybody else and the trust he has in everybody else. That's where it comes from. It comes from your leader. And so you can see that, and you can see it in the other leader, Brunson. He has more trust this year. He has more trust now. He knows, one, he has a shout out to Marquette. He has Tyler. He has Tyler Kolek over there, Marquette University guard, and he's trusting him more. But even coming off, they said Jalen Brunson's giving up the ball 1 second earlier. It sounds like, that's 1 second. That's a lot. A guy getting off that ball and giving it up and just giving everybody an opportunity to touch it. The ball swinging around, just watching the way they move, the way they play. The Knicks. This is my favorite Knicks team that I've seen. Probably since I watched them play against the Bulls back in the day. It's my favorite Knicks team.
Wow, that's a long time. Not even like not even the Melo Knicks?
Melo was good. They have a great team. Like, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we we 4-1 them. No, they didn't. Melo obviously, they had Stat, they had Mel, they had good players.
Right.
But overall their team wasn't as good as this team to me.
Got you.
Yeah, no. I mean, Melo was obviously on the team. Like, we're not talking about individual player. We're talking about team. Team-wise, when I look at this Knicks team, and now that Mike Brown and that coaching staff have went more into the depth of the team and have given those the people coming off the bench. Like, who won that game for them in the championship was Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench scoring 15. Tyler Kolek coming off the bench scoring 15, 14, having 5 assists. Being a plus, his plus minus is incredible, not turning the ball over. Obviously, OG has been incredible. He's in the starting lineup. But, like, the guys off the bench really came in and did their job. And we're not used to sitting there with the Knicks because, the last few years of their success, because of that tight leash that Coach Tibbs used to have. And it works for him as a coach. But it didn't work for this team and, like, where they're trying to go. And so now you see the trust that's been built and you're like, okay.
Exciting.
Yeah, and OG got better. By the way, I looked at OG, I said, he went and tightened it up. He went to the lab and, like, he's opened his bag up now and he's gotten better, which makes them even more scary.
Scarier.
Yeah, even more scary, bro. So watch out for the Knicks, man.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Watch out for the Knicks. Here. But now, and I got a couple more games, another rematch with the Spurs and OKC. Got Dallas and Golden State. You got Houston and the Lakers.
Some good games.
And then you
some
got
good storylines for sure.
And then you got Minnesota against the Nuggets.
Oh man, I'm glad you brought up Houston. Let's talk about it. You saw Kevin Durant.
I did.
Yeah.
Talked about it.
You talked about it.
So for me, what he brought up was that run, your 06 run.
Yeah, he talked about my 06 run.
And what you were doing as far as that coming down, like going downhill, like that kind of run, which it's crazy because every person who I know who watches basketball, who are real basketball heads, who talk about that time frame, talk about it the same way. About like that run. Now, I know we talk about like the Heatles run and that stuff and everything that's happened since then, but a lot of people gotta understand that essential, which is why I give you props as far as that most improved player, like you said, like you got missed out on that because that's your third year. You did that.
Yeah, I did that in my third year.
Third year. So that's a year after you should have won your MIP.
Yeah, I should have.
But in that third
standing
year,
on business.
But see, the thing is, so the way the basketball guys paid you back was they gave you finals MVP. And so I look at just I appreciate. It was good to see KD talk about it. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I saw it, I was like, yo, that's dope. Like I knew he knew because he's a student of the game.
KD a hoop head.
Yeah, he's a student of the game.
Yeah, he a hoop head.
And to be able to like, yo, he was giving you that flowers, like even like just unbeknownst of just kind of like just glorifying you, but just like, yo, what you did was special.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up being put into a leading man position at that time, right? My next 2 championships, I wasn't in a leading man position, even though what I did is incredible, was needed, you know what I mean, as a second option on the team. But that was my leading man moment. And I stepped up to to when my name was called, right? And
yes.
It's really cool for me to always hear the way that hoopers, like everybody think that we as hoopers, we all think the same.
Right.
We all view the game the same. You know, we see the game the same. We don't. And so it's always good for me to be able to hear hoop heads, hoop greats talk, and you see the way they see the game. And we respect KD over here because he's one of them dudes when it comes to the game of basketball. And I don't play the game the way that KD played the game, right? We play different styles. And so I can appreciate, I think sometimes when people play similar styles, they compare them so much that it makes some people hard to appreciate each other's game. And, I think, so if one, shout out to KD for, obviously talking about the 06 run I had, because he right, man, I was downhill. Like, bro, I'm going to get a bucket on you, and I don't care which way it come. It's just going to happen. And you in my way, I'm coming right there.
Yes.
That was like the mentality, right? Like I was just a young free player who had and who understood the moment, I think. And then why I say that is because he expressed this a little bit when he talked about James Harden and the comparison between us. And he was saying, like, I see a lot of similarities in their game if you look at, downhill players,
right,
making plays, for them teammates and for themselves and putting pressure on the defense all day long. But for me, at that time in my third year, I understood I really tried to take advantage of that moment, because I knew that this does not happen that often. I may not get this opportunity again, and I can't let this opportunity slide, right?
Right.
And I didn't know I would go back to the finals 4 more times after that, but like, what if this is my only time, my only chance? And I knew that I had the perfect situation. Like, I had the perfect big man that, Shaq at that time was obviously getting older, but he still can give you 30 and 20 some nights.
Right.
He did it in the Chicago series leading up to it.
Right.
I had the perfect 4-man in UD, just somebody we knew was going to knock down, 15, 17-footer, going to guard the other team's best player, going to do all the dirty work, going to foul a motherfucker, going to take up for you.
Straight up.
And then I had the perfect 3-man and 3-man and 2-man. Like, I had Antoine Walker, James Posey, like the squad. And then on the sideline, Pat Riley, that coaching staff. So everything was set. I had to do my job. And my job I did very, very well, right? As a young player, just be on the attack. And, you got the ball, do something positive with it more
right.
times than not. And I try to do that. And so he right. From that standpoint, it's like, a lot of players, they like to, it's some players you can automatically be like, yo, they're just better at this, or they're just greater at this. But when it comes to like winning, sometimes it depends on what situation you get put in. Now, it's on you to take advantage of that, right? And so I took advantage of my opportunity that I had to win a championship early in my career because of, the team that was put around me, man. And every guy was like, he just was like, here you go. You know what I mean? Like in my third year, my whole life, I never felt like that. And then that year, when I get in the NBA and I'm like, I feel like I'm probably the best I've ever been. He was like, okay, now I'm going to give you the team. Like, I feel like in my Final Four team, he gave me a great team. But, just we need a little bit more. You know what I mean? Or we need a little bit more experience together to actually win that championship, right? But when it came to 06, I feel like he gave me the perfect team with the perfect veterans, with the perfect this and that. And I just had to go out there and do my thing.
So how was the trust? Because we talked about trust earlier about like you can have a great team because the Knicks they do that much in the sense as far as like this team now, but they trust more.
Yeah.
I always talk about that year because that third year, that year before that year, which I felt like y'all had a great chance too. That was the year y'all
went to East Conference Finals,
right? And that was the year that you got hurt. Mind you would have to go up against, was that the Spurs?
We had to go against the Spurs, yeah. We lost to Detroit.
Right. But that year I thought y'all was a better team too, at least for me as a Heat fan.
We were a really good team.
Right. So how you make that trust jump? Because you got a team jump, and you had some pieces that were put together, you had to have a great team. You can always have a great player. Like you said, like when you look at the Knicks before, when you have great players with Melo and Stat. But when did you realize the team was a good team? And then the trust, which I always feel like when I watch teams, that trust. Every champion I've ever heard talk about, the team you got to trust each other.
Like you have to. Trust is everything, man. And that trust is, I mean, it's you making an extra effort or not, right? Like that trust goes to you personally making an extra effort for yourself, for the team, for this player, for this rebound, for this block out, for this whatever it is, because you trust the guys around you. I'm gonna go do this because I know that he's gonna cover my back or he got my back. Or I trust that I know that if I do this, he's gonna do this.
Right.
And you don't have to second guess it, right? And so that trust comes from not second guessing anything. And so it's crazy to sit here and know that in a couple months we will be celebrating, in February, we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary of that championship. And that trust was literally built in real time. Like we, remember Rouse made I think it was 11 or 13 player trade. There's other teams involved, and we got Antoine, and we got
remember that.
We got White Chocolate, and then GP signed with us, and we got Posey, and bro, we did a lot from the team that just went to the East Conference Finals, and so it takes a lot to build that trust. And so one, we're trying to get everybody up to speed on this is how the Miami Heat do things, and also two, we got some old guys that we trying to get it in before they retire. Like GP came there to win a championship with Shaq. You know what I mean? Like that was their thing. And we had Zoe came back to win a championship. And so we had a lot of guys that like, we had to do it now. And you felt the sense of urgency. That's what I felt with that team. I felt the sense of urgency. I remember I got hurt in practice one day, but not like a real injury. Just like, you take a hit. And I went off to the side and man, everybody got quiet. It was like pin drop up in that joint, right? And then I went over the side, and I came back and shit, limped back in. And man, Zoe was like, get to it. Zoe like kicked me out of practice. Like, you ain't fucking up my chance to win the championship. Get over there. Like, pretty much because I got hurt, he like, nah, you go sit down. We got to win the chip, and you gonna be one of our best chances to do it. And I remember that moment because I was like, Zoe, I'm good. And he cussed me out and shit. I was like, but then when I left practice that day, I was like, they believe. Like, they believe we can actually do this. And they know that they know I'm a leader in this. That felt good to me, even though he cussed me out. And like told me, like Stan was trying to put me back in, and he cut Stan out too. Hey man, y'all ain't fucking up my chances.
I love that.
So man, you go back to all that and just realize, like, man, we just took advantage of the opportunity we had. Man, we did something obviously very, very special. Miami winning the first one, was Shaq guaranteed we was gonna win, and we cashed in on that guarantee, man. But we really built that trust through we built it off the court more than we was able to even build it on the court.
What do you mean? Because
we spent so much time together off the court. Once Riley took over the team and made us link and connect together, remember I told you the story when he was like, that's what we did. We spent all the time together as much as possible. We was all making sure that if someone did something, everybody and their families were there, right? So we spent so much time off the court, which allowed for us to get to know each other and get to build that trust a little bit on the court. Our communication got better because we knew each other better off the floor. We could talk to each other in a different way now because we've hang out with each other a little different. We know each other. At first, you kind of on eggshells. I don't know how to talk to Gary Payton. I've been watching him my whole life. I don't know how to tell Gary Payton that he bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? As a 24-year-old dude, I'm going to tell this 37-year-old Hall of Famer. So we started building that trust. And then that's what you saw in the Chicago series with me and GP getting into it. Like, ultimately, that didn't mess our team up. Like, we had trust already that we could talk to each other that way.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Because that blows the team up. You're done.
100%.
That it didn't blow us up. And so that trust was built, bro, but it was literally built in real time. And we continue to keep building it as we were taking L's, as we were learning how to win. We were building that trust. We were having these uncomfortable conversations along the way. Riley don't allow for a season to go on without a lot of uncomfortable conversations, first and foremost. That's his brand. That's his style. Get on that wall. We about to have an uncomfortable conversation. And so, yeah, bro, that's why it was incredible that we won that. You don't really win when you put a team together right away. It takes a lot of time.
I know.
And so that was our first year putting that group together and to be able to win that championship. And I just so happened to be in the right space at the right time to be
special time, man.
Yeah, to be special. And so, but yeah, I love when the greats, you know, talk about your game and how they view it, whether they view it the way you view it or not. I'm not personally, as I sit here at 43 years old, I'm not sensitive to it at all. I like that it's different ways to look at something, and it sparks different conversations. But ultimately, we just having talks about greatness.
I remember, I remember when I interviewed Pat for the doc, and he talked about that moment. I don't even know if we even used it in the piece, but I remember in the interview that I had with him, and a few other people too, but he talks about that in a way, and most people do, him and actually Andy Ellsberg. They said that moment, which as a fan, as a guy watching at a bar in Hollywood, Florida, watching that series, it was, and I know this phrase can be used Jordan-esque in the sense of like just watching a takeover. It was special to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like anybody who's like, it was special to see.
That was my Jordan moment.
Yeah, it was like a takeover. Like even because Riley said that was the closest thing he ever seen to Jordan, ever. Like his admiration for that series and how, because the takeover. Because when you watch it, if you think about sports now, most things people are like team, which is great. Like the teams are doing such great things, but to take over, to do that other level. I think when basketball has talked about that, like when basketball has done to talk about Jordan, the reason why we talk about Jordan as being the great and the GOAT, for those who watched him back then, was that he just seemed like
what he did
over.
In those moments.
Like he seemed like he just took over.
Yeah, he always rised and became just as big as the moment. Like, and that's what we, not obviously he's failed a lot of times, but that's what we remember about Mike is that when the moment was big, Mike was the biggest.
He was the biggest.
He was the biggest. And so that's the mentality, right? Like this is a big moment. Am I going to shrink or am I going to be the biggest? Right. And like that was my mentality, right? When I ain't going out like that, that's what that meant. Like that's like, am I going to shrink in this moment or am I going to walk out of here like, am I going to be the biggest in the room?
Right.
You know what I mean? Type of energy.
Now, what do you feel like it takes? Because the thing is, you can say it out your mouth.
Well, you had to have the hours and the reps. You have to have the work put in behind that. So if you ain't really put the work in, you can't have that mentality. If you know you put the work in, I have an underdog mentality. Period. Right? That's where I come from, and so I have that chip already. But did I have the tools that I needed to go to the levels that I need to go to? So how much work did you put in on that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And from the studying of the game, obviously to to the work you put in on your actual game. Bro, it wasn't documented like it is now. I was putting so much work in, dog. I was putting so much work in that I was so confident in that. That's what I always say, that's where your confidence comes from, your work.
From your work.
I was so confident I could do anything on the floor because I put so much work in. You know what I mean? And so when my moment came and it was like, we got to do this, I'm not thinking of, like, I'm in such great shape because I put so much work in. I've made these shots. I've taken these hits. I've made these free throws. Like, everything that's going to take for us to win this key game or these key moments, I've done it. I've seen it. I've already visualized this shit.
Wow.
I've already been in the gym working on this. With this in mind, it's actually here. Like, I told a story to someone. I was like, I used to go back. My college coach, Crean, talks about it. I used to always go back to work out late at night. And I had Zaire when I was in college. And it was a lot of nights, and I'll tell you, like, it was my nights to babysit Zaire. Right. And so I would take Zaire back to the gym. Kids love going in the car. I'd take them in the car, let them try to crash up to sleep. Then I'd take them to the gym. But when I was in that gym, as I talked about a lot, like, I visualized hitting game winners. I visualized jumping on the scores table. all these things that y'all watched me do later, I had already did that in Milwaukee in the small gym.
Right.
And so the visualization was there. The work was put in, for those moments. So when they came, it wasn't unfamiliar. I just had to prove to myself that I can actually do it. Right? I had to mirror what I already knew. And so that's what I did, when I got my opportunity. But, I couldn't do that if I didn't have all the trust around all the guys that they were going to do their job. And they trusted me that I was going to do my job. And that right there was it's simple then. I got a job to do. Clock in. Quick story about Undeniable Rise, a documentary that we shot. So one of the funniest part about that whole journey is just to, being able to do that documentary and like tell my truths about my life and share things. But the one part about the heat, when I shared about, when I left and I was like, Riley fucked up with me. You remember I said that in the doc? So we in the theater watching it. You remember? We in the theater watching it, right?
Right by.
Riley is sitting right here in the theater. We got everybody there, right? And I forget that this scene is in there until the scene was about to come up. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like,
oh shit.
So I turned around at Pat. I turned around and looked at Pat. He looked at me. I gave him a little tap. Then I was like, yeah, Riley, he fucked up with me, right? But everybody in there was like, oh,
it was cool.
Was quiet.
Tomb quiet. Tomb quiet. I remember, because mind you, I remember we did the interview. We were in LA when we did that interview. And it was a 4 hour, it was a super long interview we did. We were just filming for the doc. And I remember when we were recording it, actually, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it. Like, it was a moment where I felt it. Like, I felt the tension. Because mind you, we knew about those things, right? Like, people see what they saw on TV, but I remember during the interview how hot you got reliving that moment. And you felt it come off.
It came off the screen that way.
It came off that camera.
Yeah,
but mind you, and it was like, because the hurt was there, the pain was there, the anger was there.
Yeah, and all of it.
Mind you,
so many other.
Right. And mind you, we interviewed the Heat as well. And so we also have to have, we wanted to get their side as well. And I remember, I have so much respect for Pat. Because I knew this as I was interviewing Pat. And I didn't know how I was going to come off a play. But Pat also tells it, and I felt the remorse from him as well. But I also knew the cut that was coming out. We were filming, we were in Chicago. And we were in that theater, and just during All-Star, we were screening it. And when that moment came up, I remember he was like, oh. Because we seen the cut, so we knew.
Yeah.
And this was the moment that was going to be.
It was a good moment. It was a good moment. It just was. I just think it was crazy that Rouse was sitting right behind me when the moment happened. I mean, ain't no lies was told.
None.
But it was it just behind the scenes. Just let you guys in on a little moment of that, and like we didn't run away from. We didn't shy away from what was fucked up.
Right.
We didn't shy away from it at all. I don't know, a lot of people. That's my style a little bit. Like, I'm cool, calm, and collected, but I don't shy away from certain things, man.
Nah.
When it's time to address it. And so it was cool to be able to have that moment. But I just thought about that when we were talking about that time. But I remember Ralph sitting behind me. I was like,
everybody.
You ready for this?
Everybody. Because the whole Heat was there too. It wasn't
Everybody was there.
So everyone,
Mickey and them. Everybody was there. It was a whole.
Everyone was there.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, story time. That was a little story time.
So but I think so. This is the last check-in for the year. We got the holidays coming. You got any big plans for holidays?
Just a dinner at the house with friends and family. I didn't get a chance to do Thanksgiving this year, and so I'm just going to do
makeup.
Yeah, this is the makeup. This is the mini, not so mini version.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
You don't do anything small, by the way.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be small, but it's gonna be what I wanted to be. I'm be at home. Cool. Like this year, I wanted to celebrate Christmas in California, and the weather gods is really. I mean, I know it's supposed to change a little bit, but the weather gods has really been on. Bro, it is incredible out here right now. Like this is why we pay the taxes we pay. Right now is the moment where I'm like,
This is when people
Ginger,
say,
okay.
yes, when people say like, yo, when people say like, yo, I said, something about this weather. Like,
man.
This weather is crazy.
This is why we're here. This is why we're here right now.
This is why we are here.
It's, I was just, I said this before, but it took me some time to settle into LA.
Me too.
And like, not settle in, like visit, live here and, be your only place, your only residence and all that kind of stuff for the, majority of it. And so this is the first year where 2025 was the first year I settled in.
Been here like 7 years.
Bro, I just settled in. I don't know if y'all know this. I was looking for houses in other places and everything. I was like, I don't think this is it for me. I think I need to live 6 months somewhere else.
You know what? Though
you remember?
Yes, you're right. Now that I think about it, I didn't realize that was the reason why.
I wasn't fucking with LA like that. Like, and then to them taxes, I was like, I'm retired. I don't like how that's. I don't like what that's. I don't like how that look. I don't like it. But I finally settled in. You know what I mean? Because at first, I was like, all right, I got Zaire through school. And I'm like, okay, Zaire's about to leave soon. We didn't, hey,
man, she young.
Calm young.
We can go somewhere real quick.
You know what? My wife supported me too. She was like, okay.
I was looking at everything.
She let me go off and look, and I went off and looked, and I came back to, I was like, there's nothing better than this.